Well, this is episode 2 of how to build the Bentos tents, and we'll continue putting on the edges and assembling it, okay?
Okay, so that's how you make the corners. So, let's get this out of here. So, So this is a strip that we've sewn together, a pocket like that, but we have enough material here that it will wrap around the bar. And then we've got a small pocket here that we can put like a small piece of tubing, like a 1/4-inch tubing. So we put one of these on one side and then just a regular bar on the other side. So let's just quickly do that. Okay, so now we have our tent, we have our closing strip on here. So the skirts. So you do those the same way. I didn't cut big skirts, but you do the same thing, is you just put it on this way. You put the skirt on, and what I usually do is I make it longer. And so if you cut a 45-degree angle like this, and then put the tent like this, and leave this flap on here, because then this becomes the overlay that you have in the corners, that the other one will come across like this way. So you just cut it like that, and use about the same amount of material as you have here, and put it across, and then take a closure strip and then seal it off like that in the bottom. So I'm not going to put those on now. You can design these however it's going to work for your experiment. Okay, the one that I have got the bottom on, so you can see how this goes up and then at the corner. And so now when you close it, these corners will nicely tuck over, and when it seals, this is all nicely sealed up here. The cable then comes out from underneath where you can then secure it on the bottom. So this is a nice way of doing the skirt on here, is to have this 45-degree cut in there like I showed you before. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make the cable assemblies for these. It's a single cable that goes up through the tubing and then around and switches to the next cable over. It has a washer here and a stop so that it can't go through, an eyelet on the end, comes out and has this spacer ring and a washer before it goes up the other. So you need to make that washer, and they're actually quite easy to make. You can just take a piece of your plastic and cut a square. Here, let's use this one. Cut a square, I'll make it like semi-round. And then we punch a couple of holes in it. through. Okay, and that'll be then a spacer that goes on the top. You can cut these nice, they don't have to be. If you don't have steel cable, which is what you should be using, so I'm just going to do this demonstration with string so that you can see how it works. So we cut 3 pieces of string, of cable, that are long enough to go through our tubing, and we slide the swedges over about maybe 3-4 inches down. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the first cable and go into the second one, like that, and grip it. I'm going to take the next one and go to the next cable over. Okay. Grip it. And then we take the last one and go over to the first cable and put it together. A little bit more here. You can mark them so that you get them nice and evenly. Okay. So now you've got the 3 loops that you'll have on top of the pyramid. So we go into our spacer. Now here, remember, we should put a washer underneath it. Again, I don't have any right now, but when you put it together, you'll put a washer on there so that it doesn't pull through. So this is the top piece with our 3 loops on it. Okay, so now let's put this on the pyramid. Okay. So let's see if you can see this properly. Let's go up a little bit. Okay. Okay, so you take your rods and you push them through. And it helps if you put a closure on here so that it doesn't fall apart while you're working on it. So I'm just going to do that here. It's going to quick slide this on. That should be enough. And then we've got our 3 tubing here. So now what we want to do is just we want to thread this down the tubing. So let's go like this to see how well this works. Goes in there. Now this works a lot easier with the steel cable because you can really just push the steel cable through. The strings are a little harder to feed, but it should work. The assembly technique is the same. You want to first build a tent, put the rods through, and then the last thing you do is put the cables through. Ah, here we go. Look at that. There we go. So now we have our top piece with the loops and our cables. So now what you would do is you would slide, can you see this here? Let me check. Yep. Okay. So the last thing you do here is you slide a washer over, another crimp. You crimp it in place, put the eyelet in, crimp that in place. I put a little heat shrink over the end so that you don't get hurt because the wire ends can be quite sharp. So I put some insulation over there so that you don't have this sharp edge that the diver's going to get caught on. So that's what it looks like.
So there you go. That's how you make a benthic tent. That's pretty much it. Simple. Just go ahead and make a few, and you'll learn as you go. And you have my email if you need to contact me and get more information. Otherwise, good luck.